So mpost2009 asks, what is the best blade shape for EDC in your opinion? The safest answer that is kind of like a non-answer is if we just said like, oh yeah, like modified drop point or like modified tanto. Like that could mean
just cover
anything,
99%
right?
everything.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is sick. This is not an Nalgene bottle. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour power bank. I just think this design is so cool and like a departure from how boring power banks can look.
Just like a black cube, black rectangle on your desk.
Yeah, this looks like a glizzy to me. Like an uncooked glizzy. What's one piece of advice you'd give to new people getting into EDC?
One thing I have been adhering to that's really helped me a lot in the EDC journey is finding the brands I like and then just sticking to it. And if I like one thing from that brand, I'm probably gonna like another thing from that brand.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Carry the Way, the weekly podcast where we nerd out about all things EDC gear and maybe try to teach you a thing or two while we're at it. I'm Bernard, the founder of everydaycarry.com, and I'm joined by our editor, Mikey.
Hello.
Hello. So if you're new to the show, welcome. Here we talk about the latest in EDC gear, answer questions from the community, and review pocket dump submissions from our viewers. If you've listened before, we just want to thank you so much for the support. And also a reminder to give the video a thumbs up to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel.
Absolutely. We love all of the feedback we've been getting lately, and we're having a lot of fun doing this new format. So yeah,
super fun.
So what's in store for us this week?
Let's do the pocket check. Should I go first?
You should go first. I've been going first.
Yeah. I always make you go first. So I will show you what do I have. I think I've completed my summer EDC.
Same.
I've been talking about it a lot, and I'm gonna run it through its paces. But the cool thing is, I have it all in my pockets right now, and I'm no longer using that purse that I was talking about. But first is the Magna Cut Para 3 Salt.
Slick.
Yep. Bright yellow, by the way. So after that, I have the Guava Leatherman Signal, and that's in my back right pocket.
Okay. How do you find the weight in the back pocket? Do you sit on it? Is it like, does it get in the way of sitting down?
No, because I put it on the outside, like the outside edge of the pocket. Oh, all actually, right, gotcha. Speaking of back pocket, I also have my Hank here. This is from
Naturally
Awesome Hank, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my keychain. So this is the Ridge Voodoo Green key case on the hand gray H4 carabiner with the Knox split ring and the little bear, not the little bear, the bear, every second counts keychain that Mikey got me. And then on the weak side, I have in the back left, I have the Olight Summer 3 Arcfeld Titanium. So this is a new for me. And then phone I usually have in my front left. And then I also have the Ridge Voodoo Green wallet here. So it's a nice, colorful kind of carry, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot of tasty colors.
Yeah, it's like a Jolly Rancher, but can cut things. It's like a bag of Jolly Ranchers, but can cut things. So I guess after showing you what I carry and how, I'm curious how you carry your stuff. And I think we can just talk about this a little bit. So just to like reiterate a little bit why I do like the pocket distribution I did. It's like on strong side, I want pocket knife in the front because I'm right-handed and that's like quickest for me. And I probably use my pocket knife the most. So I'm starting to prioritize this in terms of ergonomics and handedness, and then also frequency of use. So front pockets are usually things I use more often. And then on the side, that makes more sense for my handedness. So in the back right pocket is the multi-tool because I don't use this as often.
Strong side, right.
Yeah. And then also keys on the right side. It's just easier for me as a righty. And then like, I'm going to use doorknobs or whatever with my right hand. Makes more sense. And then also my wallet in my front right because my phone, my front left. And then on the weak side there, back side is the flashlight because like this is actually really nice in terms of ergonomics where it's just like you can hold it underhand, right? You don't need to ice pick grip this thing. Doesn't really work well that way.
It's like a remote.
Yeah. Like the TV remote. So that I keep in the back left because I don't want it in the same as my phone
Phone.
pocket just to avoid scratches. Yeah. So I
Right.
think that makes sense. It's fairly distributed in terms of load, and it doesn't get really uncomfortable sitting on that stuff because these things are like on the outside of my pockets, and it's not like a flat bulky thing that I'm sitting on as if I were to have like a leather bulky bifold like a lot of people
Mhm.
do, and they just sit on it in the back. Like that's not good for your
That's
spine. So
terrible.
yeah, so that's the breakdown, if you
Right.
even care. Nobody asked, but
God, I don't know if I should be turning in my EDC card because I keep very little in my actual pockets these days.
that's fine.
Usually left side is phone, right side is just my earphones. But I am carrying one of three slings lately, and I think I have my summer carry dialed in. So as a result of our discussion about the Lululemon pouch a few episodes back, I decided to
Mm,
get my own version of it. This is the Air Go Sling, really light Cordura nylon. It's really light,
mm-hmm.
super lightweight, really low profile strap, and this has been basically the mainstay for currently for summer. And I have very few items in here. This is my wallet. This is, I think I showed this also a few episodes ago. This is from Waterfield bags out of San Francisco. It's just like a simple
Yeah.
leather zip wallet. I only have one key, so my key is just in here along with coins and stuff. So keeping it simple there. For knife, I'm carrying the lightest knife I own, which is the Fixie. This is only 1 ounce. This whole thing is just
Mm,
1 ounce. So it's literally the lightest knife I own. And the
that's
bulkiest thing
crazy.
about this is the Kydex
Sheath.
sheath.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new
What's the steel on
version.
that? What's on the steel? What
It's
steel is on
MagnaCut.
that?
It's
No way.
MagnaCut. Yeah, it's
Okay.
polished. It's polished MagnaCut, made in the USA.
Yeah.
And it is as light. It literally is as light as it looks. I'm really afraid to drop this, but I
Yeah.
took this out to the beach and I was just like hammering into wood and stuff, and it's like it's really good. So I really appreciate. This is like the lightest fixie I own, the lightest knife I own in general. So fits right in. It fits right into the bag. And then the lightest flashlight I own is the Prometheus Beta Q3 QRV3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a titanium twisty AAA, really nice. This is kind of like my tint snob flashlight because
Mm-hmm.
it's
I
got
can tell
the
right away, especially
yeah,
compared to the blue in the background. It's like
yeah,
so,
exactly.
yeah, pleasant.
Yeah, so this is the 4000K 519. It just shows I have some street cred still with flashlight nerds. That I have a 519 flashlight.
Yeah,
And
but you don't carry for the flashlight nerds. You carry for
no,
yourself, right? That's what we
carry for
do
myself.
here.
Yeah, super
Yeah,
light.
we're
And
buying.
finally, I have not worn my Apple Watch in 3 days. I have been going watchless or going light with my
Mm-hmm.
blackout G Shock. And I've been doing
Nice.
okay. I've been surviving just on my phone alarm, which is one of the primary reasons I was wearing the Apple Watch in the first place. And
Mm-hmm.
just that the lack of notifications and the buzzing on my wrist has kind of like helped me a little bit. So
Okay.
just that's the big difference I've been having the past week. But yeah, so this is really lightweight. I just keep it across my I just wear it cross back style, just across my
Mm-hmm.
chest, just like high and tight right here. And yeah, that's a summer carry, just keeping it light and keeping it simple for me.
I like it. I think we have a lot of similarities, except visually. uh,
Naturally.
yeah, like we both have like the lightweight Magna Cut blade.
Yeah. True. Actually,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And then we're trying to keep it lightweight. I mean, actually, mine isn't that lightweight. Now that I think about it, the Olight Arcfeld, even in titanium, is still, I would say, considerable. It is
Yeah.
significant, noticeable. Same with the Leatherman signal. But
Yeah.
to answer, like you were saying before, like when it's in the back, right pocket or whatever, just rear pockets, it's not as big of an
Yeah.
issue. Um,
And if it's like right up against the side of your hip, it
yeah,
just
like
like
right
walks
under
naturally with
like
you.
your belt, it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of support there. And I
Yeah.
think like mainly it's just like for me, it's just the color
I love it.
combination,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Naturally.
it's just like
Naturally.
very summery,
This is all the color
vibrant.
you're getting from me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Unfortunately, that's all the color
Yeah.
you're gonna get. But yeah.
So this is, yeah, pretty fun. I like the voodoo green, but I think having both of them, I want one of them to be a different color. So I might swap either of these.
Mhm.
But yeah.
That looks nicer on camera now that I've seen it, rather than the pictures I've seen with the Voodoo
Yeah,
card.
honestly, that's like the case for all of these. I think just every product in general. It's like if you can see it, not on their like a brand's product page for some reason,
Mm.
it just works better. I think, yeah,
Doesn't do it
there's like
justice. Yeah.
some, yeah, I think there's some like regulations, I guess, especially on Amazon. They have to be like white background stuff, so
Yeah.
it's hard to get a good picture of that. But yeah, cool pocket checks for us. I'm probably gonna do a video, a long form video, just going over each individual item in my new summer EDC and like the colors and why I chose it, what I'm going for, why Magna Cut, why the signal, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
So
just
that'll be
like
fun.
let people explore colors and not fall into a cave of all black gear like certain
It's
people do.
true. Or like
Yeah.
forcing a monochrome theme or a material theme.
Mm.
I like this is my first time like exploring color and not all titanium, and I think it's fun.
Fresh. It's
It's
fresh.
fresh.
I
Yeah,
would call it. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Cool.
So cool pocket check. Let's jump into the news for this week. So starting us off, we have a new knife from CRKT, the Nucleus Framelock.
Yeah. So CRKT reached out to us, showing us, well, telling us about their new knives. And they're on a recent trend of doing dual releases of the same knife platform, one that's
Mm-hmm.
extra premium and one that's a bit more on the a bit more affordable side. So there's a big price difference between these two
Yeah.
models, even though they're the same knife. So one is, what's
Yeah.
the first one? 113? Yeah,
Yeah,
113.
113. What is this? Stainless steel with G10 overlay in
Mhm.
12C27 blade steel.
Yeah.
And then if you decide to pay what, triple? Almost
Yeah.
triple?
Only 300%. Sure.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's all in the materials, right? Because the
Mhm.
design is strong enough, the platform is strong enough. But
Absolutely.
then you
Yeah.
get magna cut steel, titanium with carbon fiber. So,
Yeah.
like, top tier materials, honestly.
It's so nice to have like Magna. Remember when it was just the Hogue Deca last year that had Magna Cut, and now everything has Magna Cut, and I just love
Yeah.
that. I
But
just
I
love
think
that
what
it's
made
such an option for everybody now.
But what also made the Hogue Deca special was that it was accessible Magna Cut because it was still like
Exactly.
around the price of other similar 3-ish inch crossbar lock made in USA
True.
knives. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just like the
Um,
fact that everybody that you can get like the best absolute steel, and it's not like reserved for only custom makers or like really niche one-off brands, or like, it's now available to like there's like a huge swath of the market that's it's available to, and it's literally the best steel across the
mhm.
board for so many categories. And I just like that you don't have to choose, you don't have to like, there's no compromises if you want like really really good materials. So I just
Yeah,
like that
but
it's an available option now.
yeah, let me speak for the rest of the people here who don't want to spend $300 on a knife.
Yeah.
So let's look more at the $113 option.
Sure.
What is the value here then if we're getting solid materials, but not top tier, right?
Mm,
And like you're saying that it's built on the same platform. So this
mm.
is just an interesting design, if
It is.
I may say so myself. It is designed by Princeton Wong out of Houston, Texas. Shout outs to my fellow Asian male. uh, and
Who
it's
is into?
inspired, yeah, it's inspired by his favorite, like basically mecha anime, Mobile Suit Gundam. So if anyone here is familiar with Gundam, you can leave a comment.
The only Gundam I'm familiar with is Gundam Wing, which is
Uh,
like ended in the 90s. So
yeah,
I am not up to date. I know the Unicorn, I know some of the other models, but this doesn't ring any bells for me. So let us know
yeah. I
if
think
you know.
I was probably watching Gundam Wing, and I think is there like Gundam Zero? Anyway, this is not an anime podcast, but I
No.
was watching that, and I don't know, like 10 or something, maybe younger. So all I didn't know that it's like that mecha anime is like a political commentary. So I was just like, oh, cool looking robots. But yeah, we can see that like design motif here, like all the angularity. It looks futuristic.
Look at that
Um,
pivot screw too. Dang.
yeah,
That is
nice design
nice.
on that.
Yeah.
Even the hardware surrounding it, pretty cool. Yeah, I like the tasteful, just like accent of the G10 onlay. that leads to the more like industrial, metallic frame of the stainless steel frame lock.
Even the design of the cutout of the blade is like this embossed type thing. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
like a simple cutout. There's like a
Yeah, there's a
chamfered
stepped
edge into a
layer.
second,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And then you have like a compound grind on the swedge on the top, and you have like five different edges on that thing, and like
yeah.
two-sided flipper. That's a
Yeah,
really
so
really cool
this is
design.
rear flipper, front flipper, I'm assuming, and then like fuller and thumb hole, right? So like
Yeah.
4 ways to deploy.
And now you're
I think that's
noticing like
interesting from CRKT.
all of these lines are just like merging into each other between the blade and the handle. That's really really cool.
Yeah. Am I gonna play this video real quick? I want to see them like deploy it. Dang, they don't. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Just
um,
3D renders. Sorry.
yeah, it would be cool to get our hands on one of these. It kind of reminds me of another knife that I got recently that's
Mm,
discontinued, but um, it has
I
a
know what you're
big,
talking about.
yeah, it has a big thumb hole. But
Kind of looks like a popular vehicle these days.
yeah, well, a controversial vehicle. Um,
Controversial.
yeah. One thing I would be kind of wary of, or like I want to see how this plays out, is like basically the middle of the blade is extruded out. It's just a hole there, right? So you have like this part, like the belly towards the pivot is like so thin, I guess.
Mm,
I'm wondering how that might play out in practice. Like if you're doing food prep, maybe things get gunked up in the hole or something
true.
instead of, you know?
Yeah, like they sit
Um,
on that shelf, like bits of
yeah,
food
yeah.
sits on that shelf. But yeah, this is
Still,
a really rad design. Now, even now that I'm looking at it again, like much closer, it's really,
mhm,
really cool. And I do
yeah.
like that there were two price tiers for it for the same design. That is sick. That is, yeah, absolutely.
For some reason, I feel like visually though, I still like this. This is like there's
Mm,
more contrast and like I don't know. I feel like the details pop more than this. The black version with the blue pivot and the carbon on the black
yeah,
blade. Black magna cut blade though, kind of cool.
yeah.
Anyway, really cool. CRKT has like nice stable of designers. Always doing something like
I
innovative
love
and
what they're
different.
doing lately. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Shout outs to them. If you like CRKT stuff, by the way, in our archives, we did have an episode interviewing the Joe Caswell. Super sick. One of my favorite episodes.
Same. I
It's
love
not
that
this
interview.
format. It's a deep dive interview, but like if you like that, we'll link that as well.
If you want to nerd out about knife design, knife
Yeah,
philosophy, design philosophy, it's
yeah.
all there. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Joe's a genius. So
yeah.
cool. So that's the CRKT Nucleus frame lock. Wait, I didn't even see how long the blade is. Okay, three and a quarter. Yeah, perfect. Okay, next, what do we got here? This is a brand called Nestout, and
Mm,
believe it or not, these are all like personal tech electronics. This is not an Nalgene bottle. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour power bank. I think this is sick. Like Mikey found this, put it on to me, but I just think this design is so cool and like a departure from, how boring power
like a
banks can look.
just like a black rectangle on your desk.
Yeah, this
It
looks like a
now
glizzy to me. Like an uncooked
they
glizzy.
they remind me of like World War II canteens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Super
just
cool.
like a quick background, Nest Out is like a sub brand of Elecom, which is like really popular Japanese electronics brand.
Oh, yeah.
I actually first saw them when I was based out of Hong Kong, and they like make mice. They
Yeah,
like
I had trackballs from Elecom and they were
exactly, yeah,
good.
Elecom.
Yep.
Yeah, so Nestout is a sub brand from them. And what's really cool, other than the form factor, which kind of looks like these flasks, if you open them and then there's like the USB A ports on the top, they
Mm-hmm.
have these attachments where you can plug in like a light. You can
Oh,
plug in,
yeah. Let's look for that.
yeah. So if you go back to the main, there you can see that you can plug in not only your cables, but
Yeah,
they
it's
have
modular.
devices specifically that can plug into the port itself to give you extra light. You can plug in like a solar panel, and it's just like the whole aesthetic fits onto itself. It's a
Dude,
nice little collection.
totally makes sense that this is a sub brand of Elecom because this is so Japanese glamping gorpcore. Fire.
Exactly. Right in
Yeah, like
the Snow Peak
Snow
catalog.
Peak. Yeah, the Snow Peak, Mont Bell. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
that's
And
crazy.
like the
So I
colors
think
are
this is cool.
nice. The design isn't overdone, and it's just like it's a power bank, but then there's like cool attachments that all kind of like fit this World War II ish theme, and it fits like yeah, like the Snow Peak catalog.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna send it to my
Yeah.
friends who have like Snow Peak, like cookware, and then the Montbell clothes, and then engineered garments, and like
Right.
Helinox chairs. Yeah,
Right.
this will be right up their alley. So this is really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
not even that expensive as well. And
yeah, yeah,
you got a nice variety, and it's all like between the 5,000 and 10,000 and 15,000. It's just like similar designs, just different size glizzies getting larger and
yeah,
larger.
yeah.
Yeah, but like
Um,
I mean, you don't like the power bank market isn't really one that's rife for exploring different designs, right? It's
True.
just like
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like phone cases and water bottles. Like everyone has those or like uses those. So whatever opportunity there is to differentiate yourself and like kind of convey your stylistic preference and like aesthetic, then you might gravitate towards that. So if that's you and you don't care, like you want something more interesting in your EDC than just like the black rectangle with
mm,
whatever random chord, then
this
this is a
this
cool
also
option for you outdoorsy folk.
this collection also reminds me of there was this really popular Bluetooth speaker on Amazon that kind of looked like an old timey radio, like a World War II radio as well. That
Mm-hmm.
kind of looked had this kind of design. So it was really rugged, and it had all of these like dials and knobs on it that kind of gave it like a more vintage look as well. So yeah, like what you were talking about, you're not really innovating on design these days on these like common electronics. So it's really
Yeah,
refreshing to see somebody try something different at least.
yeah. But I mean, look, it still has like pass through, quick fast charge,
Yeah,
stuff like that. It still has like decent features and stuff. It's not all design, so
and I
yeah, this
imagine
is
this would be
cool.
more a bit
Oh,
more
it's like
rugged
mil
as well
spec.
than
Yeah,
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 because
mil
of the
spec.
rounded design. It would just like bounce off of stuff and not get like banged up too much. Yeah, if you're looking for something a bit
Yeah,
different.
I might like actually buy this for myself. Okay, so the next piece of news is this. This is a product sample that is not for sale.
But by the time you're watching this, this would have come out
The
already.
embargo will be lifted, yes.
Yeah.
But this is the Victorinox Swiss Army knife, and I believe it is the Farmer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Farmer
But what
X.
makes it special, yes, is this Damasteel
Ooh.
blade. There you go.
If I'm reading this correctly, 115 layers to create this custom Damasteel blade. If your camera would show us. There you
Yeah, I
go.
know. It's like trying to focus on my face. That's clearly not the most
Yeah.
important thing here. But um, yeah, this is actual branded Damasteel, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And initial thoughts?
Well, it also has Alox scales in this. Like, it looks black sometimes, but then other times it looks like coffee brown.
Mm,
Kind of cool. I'll try to get
right.
some
Yeah, I'm
different
seeing it.
shots in the light.
Especially against the
Um,
orange in the back. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, um,
That looks chunky. I've owned
yeah.
like a farmer, and it's like 4 layers, and I
This is
found
four
it like
layers. Yeah,
oh yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, the
yeah.
Farmer X is a chunky boy.
It's not too bad if it's your primary
Yeah.
EDC knife and
How does it
also your
compare to the
multi tool.
Signal? If you have your
Oh yeah,
Signal
yeah.
on you, yeah.
Let's do that. So it's considerably. How can I
It's
do
like
this
half
on
the
camera?
size,
Yeah,
but the same thickness.
yeah. The same thickness, but like half the size. This way. So yeah, if you broke like a Leatherman in half and then shortened it, then that's kind of what this is. But granted, like you don't have pliers, right? But I think a lot of people when they they're not, if you're looking for pliers in a multi-tool, you go Leatherman basically.
Yeah.
There is like this, Victorinox makes like the Swiss tool, that kind of series. But I tend to prefer Leatherman for pliers based butterfly style tools, and then
Same.
Victorinox for the Swiss Army knife format. And then also, like, for me, the most useful in a Swiss Army knife is their scissors. I think are really
flat scissors. I love it.
I think they're really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know like how much I care about Damascus steel in blades. Maybe you know why? I think it's just because I just don't understand what this actually is. To be honest,
Yeah.
I know like sometimes it's just patterns.
It's a showpiece.
Okay. That
sometimes your blade will remind you of Gundam. Sometimes it's 115 layers of steel. It's,
yeah.
sometimes.
True. Yeah.
My only comment is like I've owned a Farmer X and I found it a little bit bulky, especially if you've already carried the Cadet that came before it,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're used to like a 2-layer Alox 91 millimeter of that size, it's considerably bulkier than that. But it's a limited edition showpiece. I think it was how much was it? $230-ish for that limited edition.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are people who collect Victorinox Swiss Army knife stuff every year.
They've been doing the limited edition Cadet and now the Pioneer X for like since 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And some of them got really, really rare. Like there was like a Nespresso collaboration that's
I
like
have
one
that
of the rarest, the purple ones.
Yes, dude.
Oh my god!
Oh wait. I went to their store in Manhattan,
New York,
and
right?
I met Carl Elsner. Shook his hand and he gave me that thing, and I did this whole interview. I remember like I recorded it, and I did not have. What do you mean? Where's the knife?
Where's the knife?
It's in my it's in my walk-in closet of knives, probably. Like, not even exaggerating. It's like an insane. I'll look for it. Or it might be in my car as like my backup. Like, I hope I never have to use this knife, but like, it's a cool knife if I need to. But yeah,
as far as I'm aware, the Nespresso collection is the rarest among all of the limited edition Cadets. So if you have it, just hold on to it. Don't ever lose it. Yeah. Throw away your Supreme ones.
I don't have the Supreme one. But as far as this 2024 limited edition model goes, I think like you have to love dark brown and Damascus, I think, or you're just a completionist type of collector and you want all of them.
And
so
they don't really. This isn't really something that Victorinox does. Even like, when was the last time you saw Damasteel or Damascus limited? Usually it's the scales, they just change up the colors and stuff. But doing a full limited edition run is not something you do very often. So factor that into your decision of something like you would want to collect, or like a moment in time, or like
I mean, we've covered a lot of Victorinox Swiss Army knives on the site. And the last time I remember a Damascus type situation was early, like mid 2010s. So like probably between 2015 and 2019 or something. I think one of them was a wooden handle, and I did a giveaway with that in like 2017 or something. I don't know. It's a long time ago. So if you've been waiting for Damasteel to return, there's that. So yep. That one will be available by the time you watch this video. So
that's right. Exactly.
And then for the next piece of news, this is maybe where our editor would play our sponsorship music if we had a sponsor. But disclaimer, Ridge is our parent company, and like they keep the lights on and stuff like that. So just so everybody knows. But we did launch some cool stuff recently this week. So it is the, I think, 55th anniversary that the Apollo 11 mission happened, where we supposedly landed on the moon, right? So to celebrate,
shout out
to commemorate
Stanley Kubrick.
Ridge dropped some collaboration with NASA. So these are the NASA designed. Let's see if I can do
Nice.
this. I need to like not get my face in the way. Yeah. So this is the white one. I really love this key case, by the way. The white and the red with the more modern NASA logo.
What's the coating on? Is it powder coated or?
Yeah, I think it's powder coated, and then the print, because it feels like the finish of the Voodoo Green one.
Nice. Yeah.
And then the black one. So the black
There we
one is
go.
yeah. So the black one is black aluminum. This is more
Oh,
Mikey's speed, right?
yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, but this white is not printed. It is uh
Laser?
D. I think it's I want to say deboss oil fill, but
Oh,
let me hit this real quick, and
no
hopefully this
way.
works. Hopefully
No
this works.
way.
Um, can it?
Am I sounding really fake that I'm getting excited about it being glow in the dark?
Yeah. It glows in the dark. It glows in the dark.
Yeah.
But maybe I just need to just like charge it for a while. But
Yeah.
yeah. So that glows in the dark, and then same with this key case. So
That is really sick, though. Is
yeah,
this the first
this is
time they've done the glow in the dark print?
glow in the dark. Yes, I think this is the only collection that has glow in the dark oil fill.
Oh,
Oil fill is
speaking
not
of
like a new technique, but for Ridge products. But
speaking
yeah,
of limited edition, yeah, it's all about limited stuff this week.
yeah, I'm kind of blinding myself, like just looking at this, just reflecting off of this as I'm trying to charge it. Um, dude, maybe I don't know if I can do this with like the studio lights on, but just trust that it glows in the dark.
Yeah.
And it glows like a like green, like your standard kind of
Yeah.
glow in the dark.
Like your watch.
But well, not my watch today. Oh, I
No,
didn't
that
mention
one.
this in the pocket check, but yeah, I'm wearing the
Oh,
Cartier Santos medium, no loom, more of a dress watch. So, um, but yeah, this collection is now available. Oh, I can show it on my screen real quick. Yep. So this is the collection, and then you can see it kind of glows in the dark here. Um,
that is nice.
yeah, this
For all of
glow.
the people who are still rocking the remove before flight airline tags, here's your follow up.
Yeah, I like this one though. This reminds me of like the Tom Sachs kind of
Yeah,
thing, if you
it's
remember
exactly
that.
that look. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, this one is it's base aluminum, but it's coated, and then the black ones are just black anodized. There's no like finish on it, so that it can be debossed, and then where it's like debossed is filled with the glow in the dark oil fill. So really cool.
Yeah, and also like small reminder, I guess, when Ridge makes these limited edition collections, if it goes out of print, it's not coming back. So if you want to grab these kinds of collections, now is the time.
Yeah. Um, I don't know exactly how long this will be available, but
Yeah,
yep,
it's not a
cool
limited edition
capsule.
drop or anything, but yeah,
I don't think it is. But it is a cool capsule. So
yeah.
Lunar Collection, NASA branding, Ridge stuff.
This is probably a good segue into talking about. There's a lot of like iconic EDC gear that went into like astronaut and and like space aviation in
Yeah,
general, right?
aerospace stuff. Yeah, are you
Aerospace.
like peeping my tabs real quick, because I
No,
had
I can't.
this
I can't even.
in the
Oh,
oh, okay,
nice.
I had this in the next tab.
Oh,
This
cool.
yeah, the
That's just like.
NASA key case, like if I'm going with this theme of like an EDC that could go to space or something, well,
Mm,
one, if
or
I
has
were in
gone to
outer
space.
space, if I were in outer space, would I need keys to my house? Probably not. So, but this could go to space. But this is, I think, what people think about when it comes to like sick EDC that is based in space exploration. Uh,
Mm,
Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch, but this is a recent release, not new enough to be in like the news cycle for this week. I just wanted to mention it because
mm.
I knew you were going to ask that. But yeah, this is the white dial version with applied indices.
Oh, it's just. Yeah,
It's nice.
that's nice
Yeah.
for a cool 8 bands.
Yeah.
A nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
this is the
then
watch that's the basis of like the moon swatch and that whole craze. So
yeah, and then
an
speaking of,
icon for 70 years now. How many years now? 80 years?
I don't even know.
Don't make me do
Uh,
math.
I'm not yeah, to be honest, I'm not a an Omega kind of fanboy. I don't have any Omega in my collection.
Is it Omega or Omega?
I think it. I think Americans would say Omega, and then people across the pond might say Omega.
Cool.
Yeah. So argue in the comments below what the correct pronunciation is. What did they say in the Philippines?
Omega.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Omega.
And then yeah, so the other thing, maybe you were gonna mention this, Fisher Space Pen. Like that's the whole thing, right? So that would be a cool EDC or like an EDC to explore, just like stuff that could go to space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like there's really not much you can bring up there because all of it is just like a hazard. You don't want to poke any
Yeah.
of the insulation of your space station with like a sharp object or anything. So like a very friendly rounded pen, I guess, is a limit of your
Hmm.
tools, and of course a watch because they're doing calculations and timing and everything. So yeah,
Yeah. The joke is you could also just take a pencil,
yeah,
right,
naturally
instead of
the
the
classic
pressurized
story
ink
with a
cartridge.
Fisher
Yeah.
Space Pen. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Cool. So, anyway, yep. Ridge, they keep the lights on. So, you know, love them or hate them. It would be nice if you love them because that means you love us. So,
That's a good way.
yeah.
That's a great way to put it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Let's move on to some questions from the community. I think there were some good ones this week. So let's
Yeah.
look through these. Again, these are pulled from our Instagram stories. Every Monday, we're going to post something like this so you can respond to us directly there. And if you don't want to use Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you can send us an email at podcast@everydaycarry.com. So I which one do you want to start with, Mikey?
Let's start
I'm
with Mr.
thinking one of
Post and
these.
Post.
Yes. So
Yeah.
mpost 2009 asks, what is the best blade shape for EDC in your opinion?
I have come around to the humble American Tanto, which is this one over here. And why have I come around to this? Um, Number one, I've been using a lot of utility blades lately, and
Mm-hmm.
those are just like straight angled point to the
Right.
tip, and then straight, no belly at all. Just for opening boxes, it's like the most efficient shape. And looking back on the design of this is the around square base knife.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
specifically chose this design because he wanted the 2 points, which is the very tip of it, and this
Mm-hmm.
point here, so that you don't have like on a standard drop point, you don't have to make another curved motion to get a
Yeah, you can
tip
just press
into
in.
opening
Yeah,
boxes. Yeah,
yeah.
because you have that tip here, you just go bang and then just start opening stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I I am coming around to the American Tanto. I don't know if it's like the best, but like the utility blade is kind of like similar to it, and that's the one I've been using the most.
Yeah.
I'd say it's pretty damn efficient and really good at what it does. So yeah, that would be my answer for that.
Yeah. Well, you're safe because mpost did leave some room for us to say, in your opinion.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, you can't really be wrong when it's your own opinion, but you're close. I for some, when you said like, "Oh,
Well,
American Tonto,"
thanks.
I like rolled my eyes and I was like, I'm not surprised that Mikey would say that. It's a very Mikey
Why?
answer.
I would say drop point 99% of the time just because it's like it's the most
Yeah, so
versatile, the most
that is my
common.
answer. That is my answer
Thank you
for most people.
for
The
most.
best blade shape. So I like to think about other people, Mikey.
I
So I'm
know.
gonna make my answer. Yeah, the best recommendation for most people, and I think just I guess it's common consensus now, right? Is gonna be just like your standard drop point, just because you have lots of belly, so a lot of cutting edge to work with. Um, Big belly, so can slice through things. No like strange geometry that kind of changes. how maneuvering the knife works, and then it
Yeah.
comes to a tip for precision and piercing and stuff. So you can
Mm,
kind of do everything you would want with
exactly.
this
Yeah.
blade shape.
And like a full flat ground drop point is like one of the most slicey
Yeah,
type of blade shapes plus combination of the grind and everything. And
yeah.
arguable, but I think it's the most aesthetically pleasing
Neutral.
looking neutral. It's
I
like
think aesthetically neutral. I don't know if this pleases me. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of boring. But again, this is our opinions, and
yeah.
we cannot be wrong. But yeah.
I I've I have a soft spot for like a nice sheep's foot or a Warncliffe, but
Hmm.
I don't know if it's like it's not something that grabs me on first look, or if it's not something that aesthetically is pleasing to the eye to me all the time. And it's very specific for its use. Like it's the same it's the same flat edge
Mm,
with a curved top along the
yeah.
top. So it doesn't have a solid piercing capability
You
as like
can't pierce.
an
Yeah.
actual angled triangle point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess those are our two answers, like a straight up American Tanto. And just to clarify, the Japanese Tanto, this part of the blade would be more curved. There's a more
Mm,
um there's a smoother curve between this point and this point, so it's not just like an actual geometric angle. So that's the difference between the American and the Japanese Tanto, just to
yeah.
clarify.
Yeah.
um yeah, so
I think
there's two solid answers, I
the
guess.
safest answer that is kind of like a non-answer is if we just said like, oh yeah, like modified drop point or like
And
modified tanto. Like that could mean
just cover
anything, right?
99%
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, exactly. I will say though that my first EDC knife that I got, it was probably the worst blade shape for EDC. It was like a double recurved hawk bill, the Spyderco
Nice.
Cricket. No
Wow.
idea what I was doing back then. I just thought it looked cool and was like slim. And then I put in my wallet, like, what am I doing, bro? Anyway, hopefully M Post 2009, this like satisfies your curiosity and hopefully
Yeah.
is maybe helpful if you're looking for, a new blade and you're very considerate of the shape.
Mm.
So that's our answer. Drop point for most people. And then for
Yeah.
people who
Tanto.
like want to poke and like do some more robust stuff, then yeah, American Tonto.
Yeah. Cool. Up next.
Okay. How about this one? Do you have a piece of gear you regret for sorry. This is from One More Try, One Last One on Instagram. They
Sending
ask, do
us
you have
two questions.
yeah, very on brand.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Do you have a piece of gear you regret getting for any reason?
Whew,
All the time.
boy.
All of them
All the
actually.
time.
No.
Yeah. Not well. I've been more discerning probably in the past 5 years just because I've gone through the reckless phase. So there isn't
Mhm.
really it's a lot of the stuff I buy now for personal use or for like not samples or anything is stuff that I've already thought of. I've already slept on for like a few weeks and
Yeah.
stuff I would save up for. So there isn't really much regret now. But before, oh man, I, I would fall into the trap of like a lot of people where you can't afford the actual thing you really want, so
The Grail. You
you
cope.
make do by coping on second or third or fourth place, and then you get third or fourth place, and you're like, I don't really like this as much as if I had, yeah. And then you add up
Yeah.
all of that, and you could have gotten the grill,
You
yeah,
could if you just saved a little bit more for a little bit
yeah.
longer. Yeah.
So I
So
regret the process. I regret that
right.
process. Yeah,
And that's a great answer to this person's second question. What's one piece of
actually,
advice you'd give to new people getting into EDC? And it's
actually,
basically that. If possible, if your financial situation allows, if you have a grail of something, I would recommend you really just be patient, play the long game, and then invest in that grail, and then just be satisfied, and then delete your social media and just like be happy. No, yeah, because like I think we've talked about it, maybe not on this podcast before, but I've definitely talked about it when I talked about watch collecting and like getting nice watches and stuff, there's this idea of like the hedonic treadmill or hedonic adaptation, which is like once you get the thing you want, you get used to it, and then you want the next best thing, and that is just like a cycle of suffering and regret, honestly, because you're just never satisfied with what you have.
Yeah.
So I guess the actionable advice to people getting into EDC is like, you might see so many things out there that you want or whatever. um, just try to keep what's on your wish list, I guess, small. um, and when you're trying to learn about what you want on that wish list, then you can go like more the cheaper route, I think, just to have exposure to like what your preferences are. But then once you like know your preferences, know yourself, know your use case, set your budget, and then have a goal grail or something, and then just resist the temptation of getting something that is just slightly less, because I think that might be something you'll regret.
One thing I have been adhering to that's really helped me a lot in the EDC journey is finding the brands I like and then just sticking to it. Like
Oh, dude,
if I
same.
if I like a I haven't found the knife brand actually. That's the kind of like the frontier for me, the
Mm.
last frontier for me. But for like flashlights, for bags, for other aspects of EDC, I lock into the brand I like and I just stick to that lane. And if I like one thing from that brand, I'm probably gonna like another thing from that brand. And if I find the right brand which covers all of my bases, I don't have to think about anything else. It's gonna be cohesive. I'm supporting the brand I like, and I don't have to worry. I don't have that mental stack of thinking of other things that might dilute my enjoyment of what I already have. So that has been helping me a lot. So like,
So I think we're kind of in agreement as far as like what advice we'd give. And there's so much more advice, but this is, you asked for one piece of advice, and I feel like this is the most topical and like natural, coming from this dialogue.
mm,
I did want to kind of um, f- offer a question to either you or the viewers, where in light of this, like, pick one brand and you're likely going to find other things from that brand you like,
mhm,
and that kind of eliminates the decision making process, right?
right,
There's some people that I've noticed, collectors, for example, in the watch community, just, I guess, just collector communities in general, where they'll limit themselves to have only one item per brand, and they want
mm,
an eclectic collection from multiple brands. Whereas other people, they'll collect virtually the same thing,
right, right.
over and over and over again. And I'm curious, like, what people in who are watching this right now, what kind of camp they fall into, because I think I find a brand that I like and then want to collect deep into that brand, and I kind
Right.
of identify more with the brand rather than like the individual piece. So in my watch collection,
Same,
like, I
similar.
have multiples of probably like the three brands that I have multiples of. This is not, I'm like not trying to flex, please. I'm like now starting to cringe, like even uh, starting the sentence, but like Cartier, Rolex, and Grand Seiko, like I have multiples of those because I just like those three brands. And if I just had a small collection of those three brands, I would be satisfied. Whereas other
Mhm.
people have like, oh, I have to pick the one perfect, Grand Seiko or something that represents it. And I think what happens there is you might just end up getting the quintessential Grand Seiko, which is like, for example, like
Snowflake or
the
something.
snowflake, then or the, yeah, like the shunbun. Then everyone has that, and then now it's not as unique to your collecting tastes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see that all the time that you want the iconic piece from every
Hmm.
you want like this knife from this maker, you want this flashlight from this maker. And okay, I have two thoughts to that. One of them is, from my perspective, as long as you're not overlapping, that is the border of collecting versus hoarding.
Hoarding. Ah.
Because if like you, but this is the same as like you have seven sneakers in the same, like you have seven pairs of Nike Dunks and they're all like different colors. I get the variety, but for me, I would rather have different models just to cover my bases. Like I have a trail running shoe, I have an everyday shoe, I have
Hmm.
like a, just to have that variety there, and not like I also see this in the bag community. They have 5 different 21-liter EDC backpacks, and I'm like, you're not really covering your bases. You're just like repeating the same thing and hoarding the
Yeah,
same
but what
thing
if
over and
that
over.
is their base? That is all their bases. It's just that,
True,
yeah, right?
true, yeah. Fine line, I
So,
guess. Fine line.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And like that that's another example of like why I think both camps are valid. So I'm really curious like what the readers think. Would you collect
yeah,
deep into one brand or one style of something, or do you want something more eclectic? So let us know
yeah.
in the comments, because
Sure,
I've
sure.
derailed that question for long enough. Let's jump into everyone's favorites, the user submissions for the week.
Let's do it.
This first submission, very nice by the way. This is from at Nolo Moose on Instagram. They say, I'm a comic book seller in Switzerland and I like well made gear that ages beautifully and lasts a long time. And they say it's my daily loadout, which is simple, classic, robust, and hard wearing. And
What's
right
what's
off
the
the
name of
bat,
the what's the name of the user?
Nolomus, Nolomus.
Well, he can be Noling Mus because this is a really
Ah,
nice
yeah,
layout.
always be Noling. Some
Always.
EDC, just etymologies. No, not even etymologies. Just some definitions. If you don't know what knolling means, it's this process of like arranging things in a aesthetically pleasing grid. This is what we do when we do pocket dumps. If you didn't know, that's the term. Always be knolling. KNOLLING. But yeah, right off the bat, I think with the intention of having something that's well made, ages beautifully, and lasts a long time, knocked it out of the park with brass and leather, right?
And like patina across the board from the
Yeah,
notebook cover to
yeah.
the
Look at that,
flashlight.
all scratched
Yeah.
up, nice. Yeah,
I
this is
always,
well worn.
why is it that the people who have the brass and leather stuff always have kind of like nice collections? It's a certain type of person, and they
Mm-hmm.
generally have a nice set of combination of stuff. I've noticed.
Mm,
Like everybody who submitted to us with like the brass and the leather and the copper stuff, they always tend to be like really nice, either knolling
yeah,
or like nice photos or just like nice items selected and just like a nice
yeah.
solid
Okay, so
collection of
I
stuff.
have a hypothesis,
Sure.
and feel free to just stop me if this is getting too derailed. But I think people that are into brass and leather think about long term. They play the long game. They want
Mm,
patina, and they want something that's timeless. They're not chasing the latest and greatest. They're not chasing specs or features. So when they get something, they put in a lot of thought and research and intention into getting that thing because they know they want it to last for a long time. And then as they do that, then they really put these things through their paces, and then they get all this kind of nice wear, right?
I think
Versus
that's
people that might just be like, oh, this just came out, or like, oh, this is trendy on Instagram or something, I'm just going to cop that. And then they don't really like form an attachment to it, don't really carry it too long, and then like it gets swapped out, and then their carry is not as cohesive, because they're always swapping things out.
that
Did I
tracks. I think
cook?
that, yeah, that
Okay.
tracks. I think that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a bunch of what's the watch in this set?
Mido Ocean Star.
Yeah, but a lot of
Yeah, this is
like
a
EDC classics in this also.
yeah. I think Mido's Swiss made. I don't remember, but Mido is a good like I don't want to say micro brand, but like a smaller brand. It's not like a big luxury brand or anything. So affordable and like um, you know performant for EDC. Yeah, and then we can run through the items real quick. So there's like a copper Zippo. This is a secret slim wallet. So this is a pop-up style wallet, where you like pull the trigger and the cards come out. Travax Link lanyard. Travax is an American company. Cool hardware on this one as well.
Quick release. It looks like on that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Quick release on the
Yeah.
bottom. Then you got your gated carabiner up top. This has the Travelers Company brass fountain pen with the Travelers Company notebook in the passport size. A buck 110 from 2023, so not as much patina as the rest. but still solid, timeless. You got the Key Smart. This thing is like super worn. The Rescue Me car escape tool, this guy, and
Everybody should have a
Trekker
rescue
Space
me, by
Pen.
the way.
Yeah, it's like cheap and like doesn't take up space, right? Just keep
Yeah.
it in the car or something. Um, and then the Mito Ocean Star Caliber 80, like I mentioned, and then the Phoenix E20. So
What was the pen? That's a Fisher pen, isn't it?
yeah, it's the Trekker series. So it's
Checker
like
there.
you can like clip it to and then you just like pull out the thing. It's not like the bullet style.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, really
solid.
solid collection. It's
Yeah,
like all patina, all well thought of, all well used. Very obviously, like even the
yeah.
flashlights, you can see the wear and tear in the flashlight and the Key Smart.
Yeah, for me, it's like all bases covered basically, with redundancy in the pen situation. And
Mm,
I appreciate this because it seems to me like they're the type of person that values like their writing experience, right? So then you're going to invest in a fountain pen. Fountain pens are not ideal for EDC, they're just a little bit delicate, but they kind of have to be to get the writing experience you're looking for. So to complement that, you have classic like Fisher Space Pen pressurized ballpoint ink cartridge, and then that way you can enjoy it all without taking up too much space because it's just like keychain sized. So I think super solid EDC. This
would
is
you
like a
change
great
anything?
example.
Would you change anything in this loadout, or would you suggest to add anything else?
Mm, I think an aesthetic choice could be you can throw your diver. Oh, is this even a diver? Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say you could throw it on a leather strap and just have even more leather to patina, but like it doesn't make sense for the watch style, so never mind. Do you?
I was only the only thing I was thinking of like swap out for a two tone type of watch, but that's like a purely preferential choice, just to
Yeah,
match like the silver
sure.
and brass. But other than that, like you said, bases covered. Even
Yeah,
like yeah,
black diver. That's timeless to me.
yeah,
So, um,
stainless steel sport watch. How can you go wrong?
yep. Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly. So really great submission by Nolomoose on Instagram. Go give them a follow if you appreciate that kind of content. Next, we got at tzito, Zitto on Instagram. They
Mm.
are an office worker in Nashville, Tennessee, and they're going for a minimal style here. So they say, I carry as light as possible by keeping my EDC simple and minimal. Black and silver are clean and keep with my overall aesthetic. So we have the Ray-Ban Wayfarer, Belroy card sleeve, a Seiko 5 automatic diver here, Kershaw Misdirect, Apple AirPods, Zebra F701, and some field notes.
Number one is, man, that clip has seen better days.
Yeah, yeah. But luckily, the F701 is a fairly affordable
Extremely
pen,
affordable.
right? To replace this if this clip no longer functions in the way you need it to.
Or
Not too much of an investment.
you could probably take it off and bend
Yeah,
it back
bend it back.
properly to
Yeah.
ship. Yeah.
So
And like you, he also raw dogs his AirPods case.
what's wrong with raw dog in the AirPods case? Yeah, mine has like
I just don't want
indigo from
to.
my jeans on it.
I just don't
It's
want
all
to,
scratched.
scratch it up as much as I can, just like preserving
But the
its.
case protects the AirPods themselves. It's
But
not
what's
you're not
protecting the case?
that's the point of the case.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm just trying to preserve like my nice stuff as best as I can.
Okay,
If I
that's
can.
fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How eco-friendly of you. So
Yeah, just a bunch of quintessential gear like blackout
mhm,
field notes, Wayfarers, like how many hundreds of years now for the
yeah,
Wayfarers are instant classics. I haven't seen this Kershaw very
the
often. Like
misdirect. Yeah.
it's one of those early 2000s Kershaws that
Hmm.
they had that whole phase of like the angular stuff that
Yeah.
isn't like so popular these days. But Speed Safe, Flipper, really heyday of Kershaw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
nice.
remember if this is speed safe or not.
Like most of them are like
Yeah, a lot of them are.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Kershaw's from this era for me, they were just a little heavy because they went with a lot of just steel everything, like instead of
Mm.
like aluminum or like G10 or something. So that's probably the case here, but it is just like a compact, slim, kind of sleek. knife silhouette in general, and it lends to the whole like minimalist vibe that they're going for.
Speaking of sports stainless steel divers,
Yeah, Seiko 5. Yeah.
yeah,
I think this is
clean.
the newer one, but it's still like very much Seiko 5 design language.
Yeah,
Another solid watch here. So I think this is all solid. It's like a good blend of, I don't want to call it budget because it's, like that's not what they're going for, but it is just like functional, affordable stuff. So it's like a good reminder that like you don't need to break the bank to have like a sick EDC like this.
I would just add a flashlight, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
your phone does the job for you.
Yeah. Maybe
Perfect
they're out in
flavor.
the sun all day and don't need a
Yeah,
flashlight, hence the
true,
sunnies. So
true.
why did I say sunnies, by the way? That's not like Los Angeles, California vernacular. Shades.
Shades.
Yeah. I think I was just possessed right there in that moment. So I'm sorry about that.
You're a worldly person. You're getting vernacular from everywhere.
Thank you.
Inspiration
Okay.
is everywhere.
Yeah. Thank you, Mikey. And also thank you to @tzitto on Instagram. Go give them a follow if you like that. Shout
Hope your
outs to
clip
Nashville.
turns out okay in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. This clip. So next we got something from @Seth_Cowdill. Sorry if I butchered that last name, but they said endurance athletics enthusiast intending to balance new tech with old school, timeless style in this EDC. Very cool. And they said this is a basic daily carry to and from the office and or around town. Currently matching army green Garmin watch to the knife. Prefer to blend balance and tech needed for running with classic men's must-haves such as a Zippo, leather wallet, and leather journal. And they're never looking to include quote unquote fad pieces in EDC. So we have the Garmin Forerunner 55, classic Zippo, Civivi Mini Praxis, Belroy leather wallet, and then the classic Moleskine with a leather cover. This is also a Huckberry collab. I'm looking at that correctly.
That's a nice notebook. I would love to see what pen he's using with it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming and this is here's here. Leather and Zippo again. A couple of classy guys in this week's submissions.
True. And then also, yeah, Civivi Mini Praxis is a great like budget option, I think.
Yeah, we have it as one of our choices in our picks. Best cheap knives. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one behind me in that other room. So,
yeah. I would just love to see what pen you're using with a notebook. I love the leather and the Zippo and like the greens, like nice addition of like a GPS watch rather than going all out full smartwatch. And I would only like the last guy. I would just add a flashlight, maybe.
Okay. But well, nobody asked what you would do here, Mikey.
I know he's probably
unsolicited advice. Yeah,
he's probably more put together than me, being a fancy guy writing in leather notebooks. What do I know?
Right, dude. I was gonna say though, what I really appreciate about this is their intention to mix new tech with like old school timeless gear. I think that is ambitious and cool, and I love how it came together here. And it's honestly a concept that I might steal for myself and try to do because I like old tech and new gear, if that makes sense. But this is like flipping the script where it's like new tech and old gear. I think that's really cool. And I think I might explore that curiosity a little further.
And it's like I said this in the last episode, I think, where it's nice where you can create these little mental gymnastics, I guess, and into creating small lanes for yourself at EDC, just so it's like not so overwhelming to explore every little aspect of every little thing. If you focus on one thing, like I want to create something colorful for summer, I want to do something lightweight for the summer, I want to mix old and new, then that gives you a bit more direction, that gives you a bit more purpose and purchasing intent rather than just like seeing something on Instagram. Oh, I like that. I like that. And just like, add to cart everything. And you just screw yourself. And then you have EDC regret. There you go.
True. Yeah. I like the idea of like having that sort of unifying theme that informs the individual purchases, because like, if you're thinking about your EDC as a whole and not just EDC items, this is how it ends up like really cohesive, put together, purpose driven. So very cool.
And dialed in specifically for your needs.
Yeah. So Great example of this. Love what you did here, Seth. Thank you for the submission. We got a couple more from our Facebook group, time permitting. So let's jump into those. This one is from Dat Tran. They're a top contributor, and this is in our Facebook private group. So the everydaycarry.com inner circle, and we'll have information on how to join that and see what everyone's up to in there. Dat says, this is my lightweight carry when I wear shorts. So the Nomadic wallet, the Olight i3S in brass, this Ant Design Pathfinder V2, and a Higo no Kami.
Nice. So another lightweight for summer loadout. Yep.
Just small, thin gear. This tool is really interesting to me.
Is that like a bottle opener with a
Ant Design
craft blade?
Yeah, I think so. With a tritium insert and then like a wrench in the back. Yeah.
Nice.
Or bit driver, sorry.
I haven't seen this Nomadic wallet in a while. Also.
Yeah, it's nail puller.
Another classic EDC.
Yeah, so I think they're called Basics now. Or did they used to be called Basics? Sorry, they used to be called Basics in like 2013 or something when they launched the Kickstarter. Yeah, a long time ago. They used to be called Basics, and then they changed their thing to Nomadic, and then now they make like travel, luggage, apparel. So, I think that's par for the course for a Kickstarter wallet brand, right? You have to expand beyond EDC wallets. So
interesting use of the Higo no Kami. Like, it's a really popular thing, but you don't really see it that often in EDC.
I wonder what this handle is. It doesn't look brass.
Yeah. Could
and
be spring
also,
steel or something. Yeah.
Such a humble dude. Just did not mention the Hamilton on the wrist. I'm sure it's fire if you flip that wrist over.
You don't often see that kind of strap either, with like the reinforced leather on the eyelets. That's pretty cool.
So I think this is really cool. Looks great for the summer. Love the canvas matching the strap as well.
I agree.
Yeah. Really cool. Thank you, Dat. And like Skate Nerd says, great carry. So let's move on to the next one. Yeah, and this last one is from our boy Vampiro EDC. This is the overall collection, but they have here a Kaiser Mini Sheepdog, a Trustfire Mini X3 flashlight, Lynch Northwest All Access Pass, a Dango A10 Adapt wallet, like some crazy modded Swiss Army knife from Victorinox.
Custom Victorinox.
And then,
that's what I'm talking about.
And then the Zippo on a Spartan Hanks. So there's more to this, by the way, in this gallery, showing more of the details here. So that's the Dango. Here's the Kaiser, Trustfire. I think this is part of the Dango wallet.
That's
in
the
the
pen
Adapt.
in the wallet.
Yeah. And then just some more. Oh, and the Casio G-Shock. This is a G-Shock? No, just Casio. But really cool setup here. It's interesting gear.
Yeah. It's a popular Lynch Northwest pry bar, skeletonized version. Yeah, and that Dango wallet specifically has a compact pen and a compact notebook as well. So bases covered in that one.
Oh yeah, it's like a multi-tool wallet.
True. Yeah, that's exactly
right?
it. That's right.
And titanium. Sheet?
And that's that D-Tex fabric that they have. That's kind of the synthetic one. That's really cool, waterproof.
Right.
Offense, defense. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I don't know.
Vampiro's been a long time contributor, not just to our Facebook group, but even to like the old site. He's got he's probably got 10 times more stuff than I ever will.
I was gonna say, when I'm looking at this carry, I was like, what can I say about this? And my first thought was like, Vampiro could teach me a thing or two about EDC. What am I doing? I bow down, So very cool. I think that's a great way to finish off the submissions with just a great gallery of gear right here.
Great questions, great submissions all around this week. Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that, you guys. And I think, I think that just about wraps it up for today's episode. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Hit that subscribe, share it with a friend who likes EDC, or follow us on our social media, which will be linked below. And if you want to be part of our EDC community, you can feel free to hop into our Facebook group or Discord server for more real-time discussion with other EDCers. And lastly, if you have any feedback for us or questions you want answered on the show, you can shoot us an email at podcast@everydaycarry.com. And thank you so much for listening to Carry the Way. I'm Bernard.
And Mikey, and let us know what you're carrying for the summer.
Peace.